Well, hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 481 for your viewing pleasure and listening pleasure if you are catching up with us on any of the audio platforms, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, in the car, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to what I trust and hope is a very, very fabulous Thursday. I'm just going to give you guys a chance to come in and say hello when you're joining me. Please and thank you. That would be really lovely. Maybe we should do the weather report while I'm catching you all up. It's really lovely here today. Who is there? Hello, hello. Who's watching? Maybe that's me watching. Who knows? All right, so what I wanted to talk with you about today, what I want to chat with you all about today is this shift in the way that we approach marketing. Good morning. I'm just testing out a new position for my camera today. I feel like it's just slightly high. I think that's better. Hi. So what I wanted to chat with you today is about this shift in the way that we need to approach marketing. Now, I know for me, the way that I used to kind of think about sales more so, sales and marketing are like peas in a pod, or peas and carrots, you can't have one without the other. And one of the big things that I think is a problem is that a lot of people feel like marketing is about being pushy. It's about trying to convince people that, hey, Alison, convince people that they should buy from you, that they should listen to you, that you are the best in the world when you might not necessarily feel like that. And really, I think that a lot of people feel like advertising has been traditionally something, if it's not done through like traditional media ads, like newspapers, print, television, that kind of thing, that when it comes to everything else, it feels like blatant self-promotion. Good morning, Nicole. It is a glorious day. I agree with you. And it's like the weather report today is going to be a gorgeous day. Quite cold overnight, but it's going to be a beautiful day. So we've got to shift our thinking because social media is no longer an optional extra that you can choose to really use if you want to grow your business. We've seen there are so many problems with the views. Hey, Chrissy, with the amount of people who are looking at television, who are reading television, traditional media. We don't have people in their cars as much because we can't fucking go anywhere. if you're in Victoria, that is. So we've got to think about where we are investing into our market. We've got to think about how we're investing, but we've also got to think about our attitudes. Yeah, Forrest Gump, peas and carrots. Exactly. I love that movie. We watched it with the kids a couple of weeks ago, and they're just like, Jenny. It's really, really funny. So one of the things that I think is problematic is that there have been, and a lot of you may have been burned before, with all of this stuff that's going out and it's so noisy and there is so much content happening and it can be kind of hard to kind of carve your own way in what it is that you're doing, right? And a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll tick the boxes. They're like, okay, I've got to go and do 2 posts a day. Let's go and put up 2 photos. Tick, 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 that box done. Okay, now I'm going to go and do the other thing. Because let's face it, there are 1,000,000,001 things that you and I need to do on a daily basis in order to get things done. We've got parenting, we've got working out, we've got eating, we've got cleaning up, we've got managing our client loads, we've got everything that, we could possibly juggle. Throw in the need for self-care, throw in some alone time, throw in some dating your husband or your wife time. It's nuts. So it's really, you're forgiven if you've been going through that, all right, I've just got to tick the box and I've just got to make the thing happen. But the problem with ticking the boxes and the problem with kind of doing it in a way that's like tick and flick is that, yeah, your boxes get ticked, but you don't get a result. right? I mean, how many of you have put stuff up on social media that could be to sell something or to offer a free thing or just to, just to be there? Hey, Rebecca, and you get crickets and no one responds to you. And you're like, well, fuck, maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. It's not only about it's not just about the volume of content, right? It's really about shifting the way that we think about it. Because if all you're doing is box ticking, you're unlikely to get a result. Because anyone can box tick. And what happens if everyone is box ticking and if everybody is just throwing up the thing that they need to do, yep, throw that, throw that, throw that, throw that, then you're not going to get results. We contribute to the noise, and then everything just ends up being noisier. It ends up being more filled with crap. It ends up being more and more problematic. And then what happens? Like, the natural consequence of this is like, okay, I'm feeling invisible. And so I know this is what happens. This is what happens with my people, with you guys, I imagine. I'm invisible. I need to get out there. So we jump straight to tactic, and it's like, all right, Nicola says that we've got to put, multiple posts up a day. I'll go and do that. Tick, tick, tick. Okay, great. And then you'll do that for a little bit. And honestly, most people, when you're starting out, if you haven't followed through with a full plan and a full strategy, whether it's, anything that you've cultivated and worked on really well, what happens is you lose the desire to keep going because you don't get the result. We don't get that immediate gratification, right? And I know I've been that person. So I feel like I'm kind of like talking to myself in the past, because this is what I was like. I'm like, man, I'm putting all this stuff up and I'm ticking the boxes and nobody's fucking engaging and nobody's buying from me. No one's downloading my stuff. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Screw it. Doesn't work. This is bullshit. Maybe I should go and look at something else. And this is what happens, but it's hard. It's like if you go to the gym and you're following the nutrition and you're following the workouts, and after 2 weeks or even a week, you're like, I am not getting any results. This is bullshit, right? I've definitely been that person. And it can be really disheartening, because we as humans, as highly driven individuals, we love that external validation. We love seeing the instant results. Think about it. We're sold instant food, like think gravy, where we think about the instant stuff that gets thrown at us all the time, instant results, just add social media, and all the bullshit that gets peddled with that. You can make 6 figures. You can do a 6-figure launch in less than 3 weeks. Just follow my plan. It's only $5,000. Doesn't work like that. Right? It takes time and it takes energy and it takes consistency. So what happens is we're like, all right, I'm so invisible. I'm going to go and throw some stuff out there. Well, shit, that didn't work. So it doesn't work. My people aren't on Facebook. My people aren't on Instagram. My people aren't on LinkedIn. Fuck this shit. I'm done. And then you remain invisible, right? Because this is what happens. Like, we just go, pfft. So from there, what happens is, a lot of people will then go, all right, I'm going to give it a concerted effort. And then they'll go all in for a month. And they might start to see some results, but then they get a bit bored, right? Who's been bored with content creation? I know I have. And again, it's not about the content creation that kind of gets boring. It's following the same freaking 1 + 1 is 2 formula that doesn't really kind of feel good, right? It's not going to connect with your audience if it hasn't got your heart and soul in it. And I'm not saying that you have, like, your heart and soul in it doesn't mean you have to spend 25 hours a day, 9 days a week doing it, right? But you've got to have your heart and soul in what you're creating. It's like we're bearing ourselves to our audiences. You can't just tick a box for that. So then what happens is people get really brave and so courageous, and it's really beautiful to watch this kind of like blossoming, and I'm imagining like a lotus flower opening up, and it's really glorious to watch. And then they start being a bit more vulnerable, and they start sharing a bit more of their personality. They start doing things a little bit differently, and then someone in their family says, oh, I don't think you should be doing that. Or why did you share that? I don't understand. Or their friends are like, you're posting a lot, I think you should stop. Or a peer might say, you are wrong, like that is not true, I don't know why you're doing that. Or they'll say, I think you've lost your fucking marbles because you start sharing your opinions. Or they'll say, you shouldn't post that on social media. You should only do this. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting photos up of your kids? Why are you putting photos up of your animals? Why are you putting photos up of your food? Why are you only talking about business? And what happens is that, you know, these beautiful, brave, courageous flowers that aren't even open yet, they're like here, they get trampled on by the bastards who think that they know better. Right? They think that they know better what your strategy should be, the way that you should show up, and basically they're trying to make you fit inside the box that works for them. Now, all of those people, I'm not saying are horrible people. I'm not saying that they're assholes. I'm not saying that they're bastards. I just think that they should keep their opinions to themselves because they are not your client. They are never going to be your client. They are not going to buy from you. So you don't need or want to listen to them. But it happens, right? I've had that happen. It's a little bit like, yeah, Nicole, it is overwhelming because you're like, these are the people that are supposed to advocate for me. These are the people who are supposed to have my back. These are the people who are supposed to want the best for me, right? And I remember my husband, he doesn't really fully understand. He understands a lot more because I've been doing this for 10 years, right? But there are people who are like my husband's like, I don't understand why you're sharing that. Why are you putting morning walk photos up? Like, when are you going to start making some money? You know, this is going back when I was making close to no money, about seven or 8 years ago. And, you know, the thing is that they don't have, for the best of their intentions, they're trying to protect you and they're trying to keep you safe and they're trying to keep you in their box because that makes it easier for them, right? It makes it easier for them to feel like they're supporting you. I saw this, I've been on this, I'm doing this muscle building journey at the moment and I really love it and I'm learning how to be vegan. Not that I'm not doing it for anything else other than it's part of this program and it's easier for me to follow a plan and for people to tell me what to do. So I'm following that. But what has sparked up in my newsfeed are a whole ton of like before and after photos of people who before they were building muscle or lifting heavy weights and then after. And one of these photos that I saw yesterday was the before photo of comments of people, the things that they had said, being like, you're unhealthy, you're too fat, you should do something about this, you're so lazy. You know, people can be really fucking mean, right? When is anything going to change? Maybe you should watch what you're putting in your mouth. Maybe you should eat more veggies. You're going where? You're doing what? And then on the after photo, where they're muscly and looking lean and looking really healthy by my view of the world, there's all of these comments in there like, don't you think you're taking it too far? You don't want to get too muscly, don't get too fit, you won't be able to sustain it. Do you really need to eat healthy all the time? Why do you have to be so strict? You know you can let yourself go. You know you can have a cheat day. You know, so like you can't fucking win. If all you're doing is always trying to, and I'm not saying that you all do this, but if we're trying to please everyone, then it's not going to work. And it's very similar on social media. So one of the things that I want you to really think about is this platform that you have got, this Zuckerberg-given platform that you have got, where you can have a conversation with your audience, where you can cut through the noise, where you can show up as you need to gift yourself with this most amazing permission, the biggest permission box that you can possibly give yourself, and allow yourself to use it in a way that works for you. And that means we're going to have to get comfortable with self-promotion. It means we're going to have to get comfortable with being brave and courageous and maybe no one commenting on your stuff. It means that you might need to get brave and courageous with people commenting on your stuff, because both things happen, right? Sometimes you'll get comments, sometimes you'll get engagement, visible engagement. Other times you'll get no comments and no visible engagement. It takes courage to show back up that next day and do that. when you've got people commenting and engaging and liking and sharing and being all up in there with you, that takes courage to back it up the next day, because we don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to see your stuff. We don't know who's going to show up. You don't know who is going to comment. So every day it takes bravery and courage for you to show up and start sharing more of you, right? So the first thing is to let go of what anybody else is going to say. And I would almost go so far to potentially do what I did, and I blocked out a lot of the people who were being unhelpful for me. So I just didn't let them, I blocked them, banned them from my page. I took them off my social media because I don't need their opinion. I don't need your judgment. I've got my people around me. I know what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Like, really draw a boundary with that. The second thing is that you've got to remember that just ticking those boxes is going to make you look like a carbon copy of everybody else that is just spouting bullshit out into the online world. And I know that you are better than that. And I know that you have got the most amazing knowledge in between your ears that you can get out there and use. So the thing that you've got to do is sit down, and this is where Visible Live can become really important for you. Or if you don't want to come and spend 2 days with me, that's fine. Buy the book. The book tells you how to do this. It's really rare, you guys, where I will say you need to do this. And today is one of those days. Make yourself available on the 25th and the 26th of September and come to Visible Live. The link is in the comments. Or buy the book Into the Spotlight, which helps you to unpack how you can not just tick boxes, but actually share your personality. The other thing that we've got to remember that is so important, so 3 things. Number 1, let go of what everybody else is going to say. Number 2, be brave and courageous every day, regardless of what the external evidence is showing you, and keep showing up. And the third thing is change the way, get rid of the idea of marketing, right? If you go, all right, do you know what I'm going to do today? Instead of going, all right, I have to put on my business jacket. I feel like Romy and Michelle when I talk about like I'm going to do business properly. Do you do a businesswoman special? It's the second time I think in the last week I've referenced Romy and Michelle. I think we might have to watch that with the kids. So here's what usually happens. People go, all right, I have to go and do some marketing on social media. And so they get all up in their head about being professional, about trying to make it perfect, and they lose their sometimes, not all the time, they can lose their personality in the translation of what goes on in here to what comes out their fingers and then how it shows up on the internet, right? I know I've done this when I used to be really worried about being professional and right. I did this when I first started. So I haven't talked to you guys about this ever before. So here's a bit of an exclusive little thing. So I worked for Westpac for 12 years, loved it. But wanted more for me, for my family, for the business, and I wanted more freedom and flexibility. So, and I didn't want to, I wanted to be able to explore my, I didn't want to have to book in freaking holidays. Was a huge motivator for me leaving the bank. I'm like, if I want to go away with my family, I want to be able to do that. So anyway, left the bank. When I started marketing, which I started marketing this business before I left the bank, but I couldn't juggle everything for long. It was becoming untenable. So I decided to resign. And so online, what I was doing, I'm like, I really need to make this business work. I'm going to do things the right way. And so I was very proper, very professional. I felt quite rigid because I was really scared. Like we were talking about before, I had all of these voices, not only in my head, but also all of these external voices telling me how I should be in order to get fast results. I'm like, okay, well, they know more than me. I'm going to have to listen to them. And so I did. So I was very rigid. And then I loosened up. I've gone, screw that. I'm going to do things my way. And that was really awesome. But roll around to 2018, and this is the thing that I haven't talked with you about before, actually. In 2018, I decided at the start of the year that I wanted to have fun, and if it wasn't going to be fun, I wasn't going to do it. You've all heard that before. But following on from that decision, I was like, all right, I think I want to start playing in corporate land. So this funny thing happened again. I became all proper, kind of. I felt like I had. It was like a Gemini, right? Like Jekyll and Hyde. I felt like I had a split personality. I had this very kind of proper and professional thing. I started doing my proposals all proper and doing things in a really kind of professional way for the corporate market that I wanted to attract. And then I also had my public market, like you guys, and I had that stream. And I was trying to dance between both for probably the first half of 2018. And I found it really hard to kind of manage the almost like it felt like a dual personality. I mean, you guys always got from me like this kind of thing, but it was the other side that I found really hard. And so I get that trying to be professional and trying to appeal to a particular market or a particular segment, I get that. But instead, what I want you to think about is about how you can shed the things that you think that you need to do, get rid of the way that you think maybe you have to show up, and forget about the word marketing. Because everything you put out there is marketing. But if you shift it more to thinking about how do I meaningfully contribute to my audience today? And I think that's got to be one of the leading questions. How do I contribute to my audience in a meaningful way today? And if that's the way that you approach marketing, how do you think that's going to change? I think it's going to change really dramatically. Because if you're like, all right, well, instead of going, I've got to tick the fucking box, I've got to go put up a post, I've got to go do this, I've got to do blah, blah, blah. Go, all right, well, what can I share today that's going to be really meaningful? What can I share today that's going to be really helpful? What am I going to share today that's going to help my audience? And yes, that's marketing, but it's like sales, right? People get all caught up in the terminology, in the lingo, in the language, when if you just shift that, and then that changes the way that you show up. It comes more from here rather than from up here, right? That's where the thought bubbles start. So it comes more from your heart, and then it has this sort of flow from your heart through your head and then obviously out your mouth. And I think that is one of the most beautiful ways that you can show up for your people is as you are, trusting that what you have to share is meaningful, that it's helpful, that it's impactful. And you know what? Sometimes it's just about getting up there and saying, you know what, you guys, I don't know about you, but here's my rant today on all of the things that I don't really like about my industry. Or how many of you are doing homeschooling and having parent-teacher interviews at the end of the term, and what we're hearing is that our children are really tired and that they're just all done. You know, sometimes that might be the thing that you share on your live streams versus like a business content. My live streams and my content tends to be content rich because that's kind of my natural style. Like, I'm so passionate about helping you guys. It's like, how can I not help you every day? How can I not deliver this stuff to you? How can I just, like, I'm happy to talk about all the other things as well, but this for me is how I really can best serve you, is the way that I think about it. So what about for you? How can you meaningfully contribute to your audience rather than thinking, all right, I've got to go to social media and I've got to do some marketing? Now, if you want to learn how to meaningfully contribute to your audience on a regular, consistent basis, then you've got to be in Visible Live. And it's my signature program. It is an amazing event. I've put hundreds of people through the curriculum of this, and I know that it will transform the way that you view marketing and how you contribute to your audience. It will take away any sense of overwhelm. There is no room for you to need to look at the competition. You will know exactly how to capture and talk to your ideal audience. And that post paralysis where it's like flashing cursor, don't know what to say, that will be gone. You will know everything that you need to do and how to do it for like the next 12 to 18 months, possibly 2 years, including your courses, including your live streams, including your posts, absolutely everything. It will change your world. I can pretty much guarantee it. Actually, I will guarantee it. I can guarantee that. So, my friends, on that note, if you have any questions, let me know. If this has been helpful for you, please let me know that as well. I really love hearing from you guys. So if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please make sure you let me know. Otherwise, here's what you need to do. You need to get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it. Remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome, and I can't wait to work with you in Visible Live or get my book in your hot little hands and start seeing you become more visible and step into the spotlight, because damn it, you deserve it. Have an amazing Thursday, everybody, and I will talk to you really, really soon. Bye.